All right. Awesome. Hey, everyone. Let's just make sure that the game audio is coming through here. Game's a little on the quiet side, it looks like. All right. Is that better? Let me know if it's not loud enough. Although it looks like, okay, there. I was double capping it before. That should be good. Anyways, so, hey guys, this is Artery Gear Fusion, released like 2 days ago, I think. And I've been playing it just to kind of get a handle on how it works and kind of the enjoyment factor of it. Like, I tried it when the original server launched, and it was okay. But I wasn't a huge fan of the combat sprites. I found that to be kind of a, hey mana. So I decided with the global launch I should try it again. Because typically when I try overseas games on launch, it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Sometimes I'm not the best judge at that hour. So I decided to give it another run. Hey Delta. So, it's weird. Like, the game itself isn't inherently bad. It's got a good progression system, and I say that kind of loosely here. Like, it's not amazing, it's not terrible, it sits very comfortably in the middle, where it doesn't feel overbearing to participate. But, like, I feel almost like there's too much, I think would be the way to put it. Why'd the... Oh, low power mode. Wait, why am I in low power? I shouldn't be in low power mode. Hold on. Excuse me? Alright, well, end proxy. Okay, so there's battle sounds. I can do this manually, that's fine. More like your mic's awkward. Is my mic awkward right now? Give me a sec. Let me bring it closer. I've had some people telling me today my microphone sounded a little weird, so I wouldn't be too surprised to find out my mic is finally dying on me. I've had this thing for... Oh, how long have I had you, little buddy? I think I'm going on 5.5, 6 years with this microphone now. So I wouldn't be terribly shocked to find out that it's finally, you know, about to kick the bucket, so. Alright, stage 6, because I need the blues. Now, yeah, I'm not allowed to edit my stuff here, but that's fine, I'll just do this. Manual runs. Anyways, I also need to stop punching my microphone. Anyways, so as I was saying, originally when I was playing this, yeah, too far from it. I'm not that surprised. I like leaning back when I'm talking. Anyways, so the combat sprites for this, when I was doing the tutorial, felt very floaty. I think the best equivalent is the Azure Lane combat sprites. That same level of, like, floatiness and, like, disconnection. That's kind of what I felt the first time I tried it. But after doing the tutorial roles, playing for a few hours, I realized that the sprites are better than I originally thought they were, and I don't know if that was because of some kind of update that happened, or I'm just misremembering the original launch, but I know that that tutorial combat section, when you start the game, when I was trying it on the original server, it felt really cheap, I think is the best way to put it. And I do remember saying that multiple times, where I felt that the combat for this felt kind of cheap due to that. But after trying it again and giving it a go, it's like, it's actually a lot better than I remember. I don't know if I'm going to continue, like, I don't know if I'm going to play this as like a main driver kind of game like I do with Punishing Gray Raven or Grand Blue, but it's definitely an experience. Anyways, I was talking about the grind before. Hey Gunpla, yeah, Artery Gear. Been trying out Ni no Kuni. So I've heard a lot of mixed things about the Ni no Kuni mobile game. I know I had a lot of people outright saying, like, don't play it, don't play it, don't play it. It looks beautiful, and apparently it's fun, but all the gacha related stuff is miserable. That's all I've heard. I haven't actually tried it, but at the same time, I've yet to really experience the Ni no Kuni franchise. I still have it on my Steam wish list. I'm getting around to it eventually, probably, if it ever goes on sale, like good sales. Visually pleasing is really good though, because as you guys have seen, right, when I tried Revived Witch, I love the graphics on that one. The Secrets of Mana, was it? Anyways, that one also had like beautiful graphics. Like, it's becoming kind of that expectation now where games should have very, at least mobile games, you know, console games, like the indie genre kind of does its own jam, but games should have kind of that visually pleasing aesthetic, right? I am always one that says I care more about the gameplay than I do the graphics, but when you come to a game, you know, like for example, Artery Gear, right? This mobile game. They are going to make stupid amounts of money in the short burst of time in relation to a normal game's lifespan, right? For that, you think that they'd put in, you know, a little more effort and make it visually appealing, make it last longer. It's a lot like, you know, Genshin Impact, very stylized, very, you know, same idea as Wind Waker in that sense, where you look back on it years from now, it'll still look good because it's a stylized game. Right, the world will still look really empty, but it's the argument that stands. And I don't know, man. Like, it should be like the minimum expectation, I think, these days for games. It should look good, but then it's like, make the game not predatory and make the gacha aspect good, or remove it altogether and make something like, you know, you earn characters by playing. Actually, you know what? Here's an idea. Totally revolutionary. Do you guys remember Xenoblade Chronicles 2? How about you give us something like that, where you play the game, and as you do stuff, right, you get the cores you can use to roll the gacha for a character. So you don't actually have to pay money or any kind of currency or stuff to roll. You just play the game, and then you fully monetize through costumes and outfits, alternate colors, things like that, right? I think that'd be a better way to approach it. It lets people that are there for just like their favorite character pick it up and play. Someone that really likes that character can throw, you know, $20, $30, $40 at that character and get them some really cool outfits or stuff. And we know that that's a feasible model. We've seen that work with other mobile games as well that have been running for years and years and years and years, right? Girls Frontline, Azure Lane come to mind almost immediately, right? And you could argue, you know, almost every mobile game lets you farm the gacha currency by playing, but I mean in quantities that make it easy to roll when you want to, like Girls Frontline, Azure Lane, even Can Call, right? The collector style games, right? I don't know. There's lots of different ways to approach it, but like, let's put it this way. If I haven't been playing Fate Grand Order since it effectively launched in JP, I wouldn't be playing it. It's not a well-designed game gacha-wise. Let's be straight. Diablo Echoes of Mana. I knew it was an of Mana title. People tell me to avoid Diablo Immortal. That's like a whole other like discussion to have. That game, that's one of those things where it's like the developers built a really good game and then crippled it with monetization, right? It's their decision to do so, but why'd you have to do it, guys? Why kill it? Games can't touch our hearts. So I don't know about that. There are some games I've played where they're like, I really just want to keep playing them, but for one reason or another, it doesn't work out. What's up? Gorilla. Once I'm done this, I'll send you the DM. Aloe drink and a peace tea. Pick one that looks interesting. Fucking reverse Uno! Anyways, So as I was saying with can't touch our hearts, that's a weird way to phrase it, but there are some games I know where people want to keep playing them long past EOS. I know that there are people that are thoroughly invested in the game just to see it die. I think a very recent excellent example of this comes in the form of Tales of Iluminaria. I know tons of people, hundreds of people, over 1,000 easily, that are like, I really like this game. I really want to experience the story, see where it goes. I want to see what all these characters end up doing. And the game EOS'd earlier, right? And that was a case of just poor monetization and some other small issues. But regardless, that's one of those games I think where it could have lived a very, very, very long time. And its monetization model was just flawed in that you had so much time between the banners for a character you wanted, you never really had to roll, so you just got to keep saving. If they had, you know, put accessories, like, you know, cosmetic accessories behind the paywall, and instead of locking it behind needing to be top 10 in the friggin' raid for your region, that was insane. Who thought that was a good idea? Oh yeah, we're gonna lock these super, you know, in high demand cosmetics behind a raid wall. They'll make people want to roll gacha so that they don't have to grind as much. It's like, no. Because it doesn't matter if you roll the gacha, you still have to grind an absolute fuck ton for the people that don't pay and have nothing else to do. But anyways, I think that if a game is made well, it'll have the ability to make people want to continue playing and want to put their money in it. And that's why games like Azure Lane and Girls Frontline, Can Call, effectively the collector genre exists. The game is comfortable, it's easy to play, it's accessible, very easy to roll the gacha whenever you want to. And then the monetization purely comes in with cosmetics, skins, the extra stuff effectively. And yeah, you do have the ability to just buy gacha currency if you really need to roll, but you typically don't have to. If you just play the game even semi-actively, in between big banners, you can save like 200 rolls, 300 rolls, no problem, right? So. Oh, boy, lots of stuff happened in chat here while I was talking. The best design, it's the best design gacha for games that require premium currency which you can't farm to roll the gacha. Like, if you're talking about FGO, the core gacha itself is relatively well designed. You have your characters, you have your craft essences. The issue I have is the distribution of premium currency between banners and the overall rates for things that you actually want. So, even though I have relatively amazing luck in Fate Grand Order, I understand that the rates really don't work out for a lot of people, and overall it's not an amazing experience. And, like, for example, right, a character banner comes out, right, like, literally just look at the last year, right, it just, not even the last year, just the last, like, 4 months, right? We've had some decently, like, high-profile banners come out, and people want to roll them, like, back-to-back, right? And I think the big draw for that was, this was, I think, the biggest spree of male characters we've had added to Fate Grand Order for years now, in a row, right? So, for the people that are used to saving 7, 8, 9 months, you know, in between the male characters, suddenly they get the back-to-back, right? In their shoes, right? They're kind of screwed if they rolled the gacha at any point, because now they have to spend money. And yeah, you could wait for a rerun, but even if you saved every single St. Quartz that you got between this very minute, right now that I'm talking, and 1 year from now, based on FGO's general generosity and stuff, you'd be sitting at maybe like 700, 800 St. Quartz. You wouldn't even have enough for pity. Right? And I think that's kind of the issue, is they added pity, finally, which is great. I'm super happy that they finally added that hard ceiling to gacha. The problem is, it's at such a stupidly high, unobtainable number that the majority of players are just never gonna hit pity. Right? Like, that's the problem. It's a lot like the Saint Graphs issue they added in, where they're like, oh, you know, you guys want some kind of pity system? Alright, we'll add this soft pity with the Saint Graphs. And it's like a super whale mechanic. You have to roll a single SSR to its maximum NP level, and then every duplicate of that character after that gives you a same graph. I'll tell you, like, the majority of players don't even have NP3 of a single SSR, let alone NP5, let alone 5 copies past that. Like, that's just... They're adding more systems that favor whales instead of adding systems that help players that can't pay, right? And it's Fate Grand Order's MO, right? That's the thing. It's all suffering down the pipe. But, like, come on! You can't call that well-designed. The gacha itself, sure, you got your characters, your craft essences, all these things. Craft essences can be broken down to mana prisms. You can use your servants for mana prisms, right? All this stuff, cool, whatever. But, like, it's all the surrounding stuff around it that's just hot trash. Hey, Felix. The gacha's so disconnected from the game itself. Past the first copy, you really don't need any more unless love. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting at, is just for someone that really, really likes a character, without pity stacks, without a reasonable way to attain pity, without a reasonable way to get their 5 Saint graphs, they could roll 750, 800 Saint quartz, not get the character they want, and have to save for another full year, skipping out on every other banner to wait for that to come around again. Or, you know, they could open their wallets and throw money at it, and that shouldn't be the case. Right? Either Fate Grand Order becomes more generous with the Saint Quartz it gives out day to day, week to week, or they address their relatively flawed system. That's pretty much all it comes down to, at least for me, right? It doesn't affect me personally because I have money if I need it, and I can save a lot because there's only so many characters I'm really interested in, among other things, right? Like, I'm almost at 500 saved up Saint Quartz right now, right? And it's just, whatever, I don't care, I can save, it's cool. I know a lot of people don't, and it's like these systems just don't work for them. And yeah, you could always just say, well, just save, don't roll, but that runs antithetical to the entire like point, right?
Incorrect.
Completely and utterly. You want some popcorn?
Bro, I'll be honest, the smell of this popcorn and the smell of your little wallflower thing made the most fucking revolting scent coming down the stairs. Bro, it sounded like you were cooking asbestos.
Maybe I was.
It was awful. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't put butter on my popcorn, I put liquid asbestos.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what it was. Like, it kind of smelled like popcorn and, like, I don't know, chlamydia?
What? You know what that smells like? Oh. Monetization kills any chance the game has to be permanent. Play Genshin, some of those fade away. So, like, I think that kind of feeds into what I was saying. If you make a game where players can collect their favorite characters very easily and gear them out and use them without having to pay money, then monetizing through other means is really friendly. Like, imagine, right, let's use Fate Grand Order as an example, because lots of people know it. Imagine you were able to easily get NP1 of, like, every character that you ever wanted in that game, right? And you were able to get good craft essences for them. But the trade-off was, right, if a costume, like, for example, any costume skin came out, instead of using in-game materials to unlock it, you had to pay $10, right? So instead of, you know, Nero getting her like 4 costumes or whatever through an event that you grind, like, yeah, okay, so we're gonna add this costume to the shop for this event and you can buy it afterwards. It's just gonna cost you, you know, $5, $10, whatever, right? And it's a shitty trade-off because you shouldn't have to pay for any of this stuff, right? They should let you get it through just playing the game from the ground up in a reasonable fashion, right? But considering it's a mobile game and the software as a service model is what it is, or game as a service in this scenario, you gotta suffer with it. Duplicates give dupe boosting extra, that's just silly. Yeah, I'm really happy that Fate only really needs you to get NP1 for a character to use them effectively, and anything beyond that's just gravy. But yeah, I wish that there was just more varied monetization methods that allowed more free character obtainment effectively. At least Gundam Breaker Mobile, you have a healthy Gadget Pool system. Oh, so that's kind of a weird take. So it is very easy to save up Haro in between the big banners that you want. Me being a very good example of that. I was able to save up like 41,000 Haro for my first Kshatriya go, and then 30,000 for the next one, right? And had to buy, you know, like 20k to top it off. But you're right on that. However, it doesn't have a pity system, and I mean a proper pity system. The recycling, that's not a proper pity system. Right? It doesn't have stacking fail rates, to my understanding. It doesn't have the ability for you to say, hey, I rolled, you know, 300 times on this banner. Do you think I could pick the part I want from it now? Right? I feel like that's pretty important. Like, my Kshatriya rolls, I think, are a very good example of why they need a hard pity system in, like, most games. Right? Like, I had to use 90,000 Haro chips to get 4 things from a gacha. The first 3 came in the first, like, 20k, and then 70k for the last part, right? In most games, you wouldn't have to use that much because you would have hit hard pity at some point and been able to just grab that item, right? I really like the gacha on here so far. That's gonna gotten lucky. Yeah, Knight, I know what you mean. Like, that's kind of the problem when you start a new mobile game, is the gacha can feel really good because, like, you're just starting, you got your beginner rolls and you're using them, you're getting, you know, like, SSR characters, but it's like, I never know if that's stacked odds for new accounts to bait you in or if it's, like, the actual rates for the game. So, but, yeah, this gacha so far feels okay, but I'll need to wait until I exhaust all the sources of, crystals, because I still have a few story chapters I haven't done yet, and until I empty out the story of all of its crystals and I empty out all these little side missions and stuff, I won't know what its like week to week crystal gain is, and that's really important to know whether or not a game's like really generous or not. I guess the best way to put it, because with it costing 1,800 crystals for a multi-roll, and our pity is up at, what, 200, alright? So we're gonna need, like, 36,000 fusion crystals to pity a character. 200 pity's nice, that's a comfortably low number, considering. But, if the game only gives us enough for a multi every 2 weeks, that's, ooh, it's a little spicy. Hey, Felix. X9, I had 300 tickets saved from a year of saving. That doesn't include the SQs that were free. Sure, but during the year that X9 was saving, was he completing every single piece of challenge quest content? Was he completing all of the Grail front? Was effectively, you gotta remember, the people that play Fate Grand Order, the majority of them don't do every single piece of content. I can tell you right now, the Holy Grail front we have on JP, it is a very safe bet. Maybe only 10% of the player base are actually going to participate in it, let alone clear all of it. So, you know, you got to remember that as well, right? Neurofest, how many people actually did every single challenge mission, you know, the 90 pluses and everything? A good chunk of them, sure, but not everyone. And even though those are definitely sources of tickets and SQ and everything, right? Just because someone that plays the game super duper actively has, you know, this much stuff, doesn't mean everyone else will. Also, how many campaigns were done during that year? Because some years we've had very generous campaigns where we get, you know, 10 summon tickets for some crazy milestone or something, and then some years where we just don't, right? So You can use the recruit tickets you get on the banner. You can stack 10. Yeah. Like, but that's the thing. I don't want to judge Artery gear on what we've had access to so far, because it's still in like that honeymoon launch phase. Obviously, it's only a few days old, so we're still getting tons of items and rewards and all these milestone achievements and stuff, and you know, they're great, but never use them as a guidepost for how generous a game is going to be, right? I've heard a lot of people say that this is like Epic 7, but with a lot of quality of life. And I find that kind of interesting because I've never played Epic 7. So I was considering trying it as well to see if it's actually true or not. But everyone I know that plays Epic 7 says that, yeah, it's pretty much just a clone of it, but with a bunch of quality of life improvements. And obviously, you have setting change. But the mechanics and the leveling process and the gearing process are all pretty much the same. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the technology tree items. There we go. Because I want to try to get all my characters up to, what the there are people just burning rubber outside. But, I wanted to get everyone's tech tree up to at least 5. Because, I need to start raising my power. And, yeah. I want to be able to start clearing the, stage 7 of the, gear raid so I can actually start gearing up my characters and, improving stuff. Because right now I'm still using, like, hodgepodge sets. So... yeah, I got a really, really good starting setup for this. I got Shura, Sirius, Alice, Ginja, Jinja, whatever. Yeah, my starting team is pretty comfortable. I will say, like, the ultimate attack animations are pretty nice. They are pretty nice. At least, you know, compared to the rest of it. Actually, I think you're in the mobile games as well. Did you guys see the trailer for Wuthering Waves? I am super hyped for that. That looks really cool. Really, really, really cool. And I'm really looking forward to finally playing ZZZ and Star Rail as well whenever those get out of CBT. Most just rely on my Quinn with 89% crit. Hey man, whatever works. Don't become a meta slave unless you care about PvP. Yeah, I've already given up on like the PvP sphere for this. Last night when I was playing, I hopped in to do like my just before I'm going to sleep PvP runs, and there were 3 people in there with like 12k plus. I'm like, I'm just not even gonna bother, because I already know that like that's not even whale tier. That's just people that know what they're doing tier. I don't want to deal with that. I'm just gonna play comfortably and casually. Screw it. As I always say, why bother with the rat race? Unlimited grind. I hear that Grace is pretty good for wave clearing as well. All I know is I'm just playing the game. I don't really care about meta or anything. I'll eventually start working on focused team comps for everything. For now, I'm just running mixed. But once these characters get up there and can, you know, they're at like 3.5k, 3.6k, I'll use them to carry up the rest of the colors for their team, so I can actually run a on-element comp against stuff, because I'll make my life a lot easier. Twin Sex is so nice. 3-turn cooldown when you upgrade it. Attack and speed buff. Yeah. There's lots of things to improve. And normally I'm not like a big fan of gear games, but I'll give it a try. Like, I tried Counterside Global. It only took me like 2-3 days, I think, to kind of really lose interest with it, because the gear was weird in that game. Like, you had tier 6 gear and tier 5 gear, but tier 6 gear was through raids, but the tier 6 gear would become obsolete super quick. At least that's the way it was explained to me, and I was like, then what's the point? Like, oh, every time, you know, the new gear stuff comes out, you gotta farm it. I'm like, that sounds cancerous. Then again, I think I'm kind of spoiled by, like, Punishing Grey Raven, where you build the character and just forget about it. Might be worth investing in Grace, then. That sounds pretty interesting. Kit her up, have her use her S3, unlimited cooldown works. Let's go! Thinking other mobile games, actually. I heard that apparently the Grand Blue data miners or whatever found the grand weapon for Galleon added in with yesterday's patch. Apparently on reset today we're getting Galleon, which would be really cool. So sounds like any MMO. Yeah, but it was more the issue of, like, because certain gear was good on certain characters, so it was like you would grind a raid to get gear for certain characters, and then the next raid would be gear for other certain characters, and it was just like kind of leapfrogging along. And you know, it's fine, but I don't know. Like, if you look at the games that I play actively, those kind of systems don't really exist, right? Like, you look at Fate Grand Order, right? Most good craft essences have been in the pool since launch, right? Fragments of 2030, K-Scope, the Golden Carp, right? The, what, Holy Night Dinner, whatever it was, right? Like, the good stuff's been there for a very, very long time. You don't really have to worry about every single update. Yeah, if you care about min-maxing, right, you had that new K-Scope, which was more support-based because it gave more HP than attack. That's like an ultra min-max thing that we just don't need, right? You look at Punishing Grey Raven. You get their signature weapon, you get the memories that are good for them, and you don't have to worry about them. You just keep using them in content. Maybe resonate them if you want to. Probably a good idea. You know, hyper tune them if you want to, but you don't really need to unless you're doing ultra high-end content. Or, you know, every single stat point matters. And you know, I'm comfortable with that kind of stuff. Even Arc Knights, right? And then it's like, games I'm kind of on the periphery of, I don't really like playing these too much, right? Like Azure Lane. That's literally, I just log in every now and again, and I only play it for the Iron Bloods. You know, Artery gear, right? It's fun. I'm enjoying it. But chances are the gear's eventually going to turn me off because I have to constantly keep updating it and upgrading it to keep with power creep, or the characters that I've improved and worked on are just going to be garbage. And it's just like, I find that ultra tedious. I'm here to play a mobile game, not have a second job, thanks. Asian. Grand Blue is still alive. Yeah, Grand Blue is still alive, actively updated. We actually just got a new raid today. Yeah, that one's lots of fun. I enjoy Grand Blue. I'm not smart enough to understand, like, anything about Grand Blue Fantasy, though. I rely on my guild to spoon feed me a lot when it comes to, like, weapon grids. But, yeah, Grand Blue's good stuff. Alright, let's see how many of these skill items I got. And also check my battery. Okay, good, we are charging. My phone is just, like, super hot right now. Blue. We'll work on you first. What are we looking at? So I need 6 of these. Wow, I was so close. So close to greatness. So close. Alright, so I'll do a few more runs of that then. Data collection, stage 6. Actually, can I do stage 7? I might be able to do stage 7. Let's find out. I kind of dropped Echoes of Mana because the gear grind was annoying to me. Yeah. And, like, I respect the mentality behind people that enjoy these types of games, because if they're looking for a mobile game to spend a lot of time on, something to really sink their teeth into, absolutely these types of games are going to be up your alley, because there's always going to be new gear to chase. There's always going to be, you know, these little upgrades and stuff to get. That's fine. But when I'm finding a mobile game I want to play for a relatively long time, it's got to be something that's comfortable, casual, doesn't require me to play, you know, 40, 50, 60, 70 minutes a day, right? Fate Grand Order is super quick, right? Unless a new story chapter comes out, right? It's hop on, turn my AP into apples, move on with life. Before it was hop on, do 3 runs for QP, and then hop off, right? Get my daily logins. With Punishing Grey Raven, it's quickly punch out, you know, the 8 multi-runs of the Abyss of X during the current event anyways. Right, whatever the repeatable is, get your shop currency. Oh, sweet, I cleared that without much difficulty. Maybe I can do the difficulty after this, too. Let's find out. Let's go! But yeah, you guys kind of get the point, right? I personally at least find that whenever there's, like, this rat race of stuff to chase, whether it's GBM, whether it's Artery gear, counter side, whatever, I don't really find it that enjoyable. Right? Like, Genshin would have been really good and really appealed to me if it wasn't requiring, you know, so much of my time just to be able to play the game as a free-to-play and roll on banners. Right? If it was a little more relaxed in that aspect, I probably would have played it for a lot longer. But, oh boy, was it not. I really like this game aesthetics, but the whole waifu thing is a turn-off. Give me more mecha. Understandable. Understandable. This is kind of that halfway point between, you know, people that really like the mecha genre and people that are just here for, like, waifu collectors. But, like, because of how few mecha games actually come out, you gotta take what you get, man. And this is honestly a lot better than some of the other waifu mech games. Oh boy. FFBs turn me off. Gear and materia have gotten insane. Yeah. And that's kind of... Oh, yeah. So there's no way I'm able to clear this in my current comp. I got too cocky. But that's kind of what I mean, right? It's just like you have to constantly keep chasing and chasing and chasing, and it's just... It's tedious, man. Like... I'm here to relax and play something quick, right? Like if I wasn't streaming and I didn't have to worry about game audio, I would have just set AI combat, pushed my phone off to the side and watched YouTube videos or browsed the web or played Grand Blue or something for like 20 minutes. Look back, oh, I'm done farming, cool. I don't even have to think about it. If I could get this running on my emulator, I would. But I'm really lazy, right? And it's just like... as much as I enjoy putting like active time into these games, like Punishing Grey Raven, I don't have time to do like, you know, 4 or 5 games that are like that. PGR takes all of my time, and I already feel like when Wuthering Waves finally releases, I'll probably end up dropping Punishing Grey Raven for it if it's good, because it's pretty much Punishing Grey Raven and, you know, Genshin Impact kind of meet, right? And I really like that aesthetic. I'm really excited for it. Right? So, hopefully ZZZ isn't a gear game. God, I hope it's not. Although I have a feeling Star Rail probably will be, which will be really sad for me. But turn-based, so. Good flavor of tea, actually. Yeah, Mana. There's lots of really cool things this game does. And that's why I'm wholeheartedly giving it a shot, right? Actively playing it, trying to see how everything works. Like, my biggest issue right now is gear. And once my team is strong enough to tackle the higher gear raids, and I really get a taste of what the gear grind is like, I'm pretty much saving my final, like, take until that point. But simultaneously, if it takes too long to get to that point, that also solidifies my opinion on it. Because, you know, people are saying you don't want to grind your gear until you can safely do, you know, stage 7 or whatever for the 6-star gear. Everything else is a waste. And then in the same token, they're like, oh yeah, you should do gear runs until you can, you know, do that content. Alright, cool. So do you want me to grind it or not? Because you have to grind these raids to get the gear. Like, it's RNG. And that's why I'm focusing on my tech trees right now. Because those are universal. That is a universal truth, these tech trees. Yeah, I still don't know how gear casting works. At all. I tried using the feature earlier, and there was just nothing I could do with it. So I was like, alright, cool. Able to farm stage 6. Nice. You need an item for it. And where do you get that item? I'm actually curious. I figured I needed something specific for it. I skipped a lot of the tutorials because I hate on-rail tutorials that force you to learn something. It's like, you know, tell me about it. I don't really care, but when I come back to that screen later, that's when I'll actually want a tutorial. It's nice to know it's there, but make the tutorial optional. You know, get to, you know, gear casting. And this is where you can do this. When you come back, we'll give you a proper tutorial. And it's like, oh, okay, so that's how I can do that thing. Cool. And you come back, you know, 5 hours later after playing the game, and you're, all right, I want to learn what this is about now. Instead, they're just like, hey, you're level 1. You can't use this feature yet. Time to give you the info lore dump. And then, you know, 10 hours later, when you can finally access it, you forget. And it's like, yeah, I'm not surprised I don't know how this works. It's been a while. Shut up, Google. Alright. AGs, U, tech tree, U, use 1. Yeah. Alright, and I just have to get it to 60 now to do the last phase. Alright, cool. Now, what about you? Because you're next on the to-do list. Okay, so I gotta farm one of the sub-stages for that. Cool. Okay. There we go. There's an official Gundam event in Los Angeles next month. Any plans? Is that the one that's happening at Anime Expo or what? I saw some in the PvP metal shop, or this come the event shop. Makes sense. I've been kind of doing like all the content at once right now to try to level up. So, yeah. But at least I can do EX3 in the event, so. You can set one of your support AGs to be used on auto if you didn't already know. Nope, I didn't know that was a thing. I'll take a look in a moment, actually. I'm really curious, because that sounds really cool. That actually sounds like a legitimately useful feature. Okay, so let's see here. I was running this map. Now, this is the AI combat button. Okay, that's not going to be it. Under here. Perhaps it's in battle itself? Oh yeah, this button here. I didn't know you could set it to be used on auto, though. Yeah, I'm not seeing any option here. Turn them on auto, you little liar, you. Oh wait, tab on the right side? This? Oh shit. Hold on a sec. Oh shit. No way. Well, that makes farming a lot easier then. Holy crap. Good job, Jun. Learned something new today. The game's UI is shit for a support list. Interesting. Oh, anyway, so as I was saying, Jun, with the Anime Expo. So I brought this up in a stream a while back. I am actually going to Anime Expo for the July 1st to 4th. I will be in LA for that. I do plan on visiting the Bandai Namco stuff, hanging out, checking all out the cool stuff. So yeah, if anyone's actually going, you'll probably see me there with a group of other people, because I'm meeting some of my buds. I'm meeting some other content creators there. It's going to be just a regular old party. So... just thought Bandai would give you early access to Gundam Battle Alliance, the new mobile game. Look, I really wish, but so far, not a peep. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to fight my way in. Oh, square up, boys. I'll fight you to the death. Yeah, it'll be nice this time, because the last time I was in LA, it was an amazing trip, lots of really good stuff, everyone was great. But it was on Bandai's dive. So there was kind of like a schedule for some stuff and all this. This time, it's just me and the guys paying out of pocket. I can do whatever I want. And I'm excited for that. Because I haven't been to LA as like a free range yet, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And from what I understand as well, the travel restrictions between Canada and the States have loosened up. So I don't have to worry as much about my travel over there. Because that was one of the biggest concerns, right, with COVID and stuff. I was so concerned about the different like travel regulations that we'd have to meet. But those apparently got lifted like sometime last week / earlier this week. So that's nice. Yeah, me and the guys. The guys and I. The lads and me. Rayla gives attack and crit damage while second air support buffs and its crit res. I don't know what you're talking about with these second support buffs and stuff. Words too complicated. Me monkey brain. What did that actually do? Oh, okay. Oh, so they now also get a attack boost on top of the action bar. Hot diggity damn. She really needs that speed buff though. Like, desperately needs that speed buff for Doomsday Clock. Okay. Alright, let's upgrade your skills here, because I have a whole bunch of these things. Let's just spend this time and upgrade really quick. Oh yeah, we're so getting near stun procs. Let's go. Perfect. Okay, awesome. And I still need more chips for you. Okay. Wait, did I get any more of those silly cats? I did. Okay. Ba ba ba. I may as well, because she's almost done upgrade. What do I actually need for the next tier up? Let's see. Technology tree, just blues. Okay, I can do that. You're done, just blues, and then a ton of reds when tomorrow rolls over. Okay. We'll pop a couple caps. There. Let's go. I can finally leave Japan without issue, so I have to visit New York in August. Huh. I've never been to New York. I don't know if I think at one point I wanted to see New York because I really liked the whole like downtown vibe it gave, but I don't know, I guess at some point I just kind of stopped caring. Alright. Yeet the stun stick, let's go. Ah, speed drop, nice. Dairy watch, go on Reddit. What the heck is that even? Interesting. Oh yeah, I can't do it through that client. Gotta do it through here. That's the button. Yeah. Are you going to get Eternal when it comes on mobile? Yeah. Dude. Hello? Excuse me? They had my attention when they used a lot of Gundam Seed art and clips and stuff to sell the game. I was like, oh, you have my attention. So I'll definitely 100% be trying that game no matter what. Whether I stick with it or not really boils down to how they decide to tackle the monetization, the gacha, the progression, effectively how they plan on actually going with the game. So, if it turns out to be super obnoxious, probably not gonna happen. But if it's just like, I don't know, what's a good example for a similar style of game? If they do it like, example, Alchemist Code, right? Where there were fragments for your characters, gear you had to farm, all this stuff. No. If it's more simplistic and straightforward, like Arc Knights or Fate Grand Order, where it's you get the characters, the suits, whatever, you're good, I'm in, right? It's when you start adding all of the gear and stuff, it starts getting tedious, as I mentioned earlier. It's a better city than Los Angeles, but that's just me. Yeah. It's personal preferences, right? Everyone likes different cities for different reasons. California, I think, is just too warm for me to really enjoy fully. It'll be a nice trip, but man, it is going to suck. The last time I was in LA was January, right? And that was a couple of years ago when I did that previous video. And I already found that really hot. I'm not looking forward to going there again, but this time in the dead of summer. I'm not gonna have a fun time, let me tell you that much. But I'll suffer it, because I haven't been to a convention in a long time now, so I'm excited. Do you think it'll be English dub? If you mean Eternal, I don't know. It depends on a lot of things, right? If they plan on releasing Eternal globally, there is a high chance that there's going to be a dub, but not a guarantee. You gotta remember licensing and all this other stuff that comes in when it comes to putting something overseas, even if you own the IP. With Gundam, right? They'd have to renew the rights to all of these franchises, right? In the scenario that the audio clips don't match with what the story is aiming towards, like let's say they want to create a new story for this game, they'd have to re-record most likely a lot of the character dialogue and stuff and change it around a bit, and that's gonna cost a lot. So it's kind of like, is it worth it? We might see dub lines for, you know, very iconic phrases and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe is the best I can give you, considering that GBM had 0 dub. It's part of the previous G generation games, so it's had English subs. That's a pretty safe guess, honestly. I would assume that it is going to be just subtitled, and we'll just go from there. We'll find out. Once we get the CBT, we'll see. And before they skip the CBT. So let's see, after I do this badge and I upgrade Alice's stuff again. Do I do some more gear to finish up the beginner missions? I think I should. I should probably do more gear runs. Huh, wow. Good to know. Do you think it'll release this year or next year? Man, I am so totally saying it's probably going to come out either at the end of this year or like mid next year. That announcement came, I don't think it's anywhere near done. I'd be really happy to be pleasantly surprised by it. Honestly, typically when a game gets announced, it's still got at least a few months on the development board. And then for mobile games, you typically have CBT, sometimes multiple CBTs, and then the game launches, right? I don't know about you guys, but I love like the few kernels that didn't quite pop when you get to the bottom of a bag of popcorn. And I think this will be my last burst of farming while I'm streaming, because my brother and I do have to do some stuff. So yesterday he bought a lawnmower. It was an electric lawnmower, had batteries and everything. And he brings it home. We're like, all right, let's open her up, get it charging. We'll mow the lawn tomorrow. Open it up, get the thing out. All right, where are the batteries at? Turns out the box was a liar. There was not a battery to be seen, and it was all an integrated system with a single plug hanging off the lawnmower. Problem is, our house, pretty old. It doesn't have any outside-facing electrical outlets. We couldn't charge the damn thing unless we brought it in the house. And that's not happening after we mow the lawn. So, we had to take it back to the store and get a new one. And he needs help lugging that around, because apparently it is one heavy son of a bitch. It said on the trailer it's gonna have Gacha and the Gundam Degeneration internal. Did it say that? I didn't think that they said that there was going to be monetization methods in the game. I don't think they openly said there was going to be Gacha. But even if they did, I'm not that surprised. It is a mobile game. Question is, what are they putting in the Gacha? Are they putting in pilots? Suits? Both? Are they paired units? Like, are you gonna have the strike, like the Ale Strike with Kira as a pilot, and then another variant of it with Magali as a pilot? Or are we gonna get suits and then pilots that we can put into them? Alright? Maybe they're gonna Gacha variations of the suit. Like, you can get the Strike from playing the game, and then they might put the, I don't know, Strike Noir into the Gacha. And then you have to roll for the variation to apply onto your Strike. Alright, I don't know. We'll find out. I just hope that whatever they do, they don't screw over the player base. That's the dream. Hopefully not in chapters like they did with Code Fairy. We'll find out.
技の決め台詞？隠れても無駄です。遊びすぎ。ちょっと目障りですね。
I typically play this game with the audio muted, but I've never really just listened to it and just like enjoyed the audio.
すべては私の計算通りです。
What stories are you ready to play first on stream? I think it depends on what's available. It'll really depend on what's available first. Chances are, knowing me, I'll go for anything in the Seed universe first. In order, probably Seed, then I don't know if I would do Astray or Destiny first. I think it depends on the contents of the story. Especially if they have like Astray and then Astray Destiny. For all we know, they may release it in kind of like episodic format, where at launch, we only have access to like, I don't know, G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, 00, and then as the life cycle of the game progresses, right? Oh, I'm done farming? Cool. We get DLC that adds, you know, Awakening of the Trailblazer for 00, adds, you know, more content for Wing or G Gundam, right? Stuff like that. I don't know. It really depends on what we get presented with. Alright, so let's see here. You, technology. What am I short here? Oh, wow. That's actually kind of funny. All that work and I'm still shy. How many? 4? So if I do like one more serum's worth, I should be good. Let's do that. There. You think it will go to console? Honestly, no. I think it's gonna be stuck on mobile. Like, you could probably get away with it on an emulator. Maybe they have a PC client planned. Maybe they already plan on releasing on consoles. Like, we know nothing about the game besides that one short trailer. Right? And chances are, even if I did know anything more, I wouldn't be able to talk about it anyways, so kind of a point moot. But we should find out, hopefully we find out more at the panel in LA. That'll be nice. That'll be real nice. I'm excited for that. It's been a while since I traveled. Couple of years. The magical 1%. What to survive. You can stop, it's already dead. honestly, the animations I think are kind of growing on me. Like, all things considered.
消えなさい。行きます。裏のバンカー。弱点はここ。
1% again.
そこです。勝利は確かに喜ばしいことですが、私たちも油断せずに。
Alright. I think I might have enough for one more run after this if the rollover worked.
隠れても無駄です。
I'm gonna be shy just
す
a
べて
couple
は私の
points.
計算通りです。
One of the two. I'm playing counter side. Yeah. I tried to like counter side, but I don't know, man. The combat just felt kind of
少し
meh.
これでよし。
But it was mostly the gear that did it. Mostly the gear.
行きます。 消えなさい。
Oh, finally done the popcorn.
裏のバンカー。
Man, hopefully my dentist never finds out I eat kernels. He'll probably have some choice words for me.
ダイヤ、クラブ、ハート、スペード。人揃いで
Alright.
そこです。
Good stuff.
消えなさい。逃げるな。
I actually have to remember to log into Fate before I go to sleep tonight. Because I realize I actually forgot to do that today.
喜ばしいことですが、
Be terribly awkward to break my login streak.
次の戦いに備えなければなりません。
Alright, so how close am I to being able to run another one? 14. Okay. Oh, I should have enough. Yes, perfect.
ほら。
And I really need this upgrade because her and speed, ultra important, but it'll take way too much energy to do that. So I should probably do target eliminations because that also helps me work towards my rookie training and everything else. So I need to do 610 actually. Did I ace all this? Oh yeah, right, I stopped because of that. Let's do this real quick.
私がリードしましょう。勝利などたやすいことです。そこです。これでよし。
It already clocked over. Oh no, so I meant the login for like after the, because I logged in when I woke up this morning, but sometimes I forget to do it when I wake up, so I also do it before I go to bed. It's better to log in twice in one day than it is to not log in at all. So I just want to make sure I log in for today before my streak breaks for JP.
Simulation 済みです。なぜ逃げる。痛いところ疲れた。なんでそんなに乱暴なの。狙え。撃て。隠れても無駄です。消えなさい。来いよ。来い。行きます。
Oh, it survived with the sliver, eh?
少しシミュレーション済みです。
Yeah, that shield AG definitely makes this a lot easier.
ちょっと目障りですね。行きます。私の番なの。生意気ですよ。隠れても無駄です。狙え。撃て。なぜ逃げる。ダイヤクラブ。
Alright, on to the boss phase. And hopefully I can 3-star it this time, because that way I can move on to the next story chapter without feeling like I screwed something up. I hate continuing when there's like a single star missing on these types of things, because it feels like just inadequate. Even if I'm completely just like outclassed, I'll just completely stop progress and just go back to do it. Can't stop, won't stop.
少しシミュレーション済みです。私の番なの。来いよ。来い。行きます。狙え。撃て。なぜ逃げる。
Beautiful. Support AG for the win.
喜ばしいことですが、私たちも油断せずに次の戦いに備えな。
Alright. Alright, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. I do have other stuff I need to do tonight, like I said. Long and short, I'm enjoying this game, but I'm going to wait until I get a little deeper into the gear grind before I can really make an opinion on it. But so far, it's fun. The gacha is relatively friendly. Characters are, as they're currently small in number, relatively easy to get your hands on. And progression is relatively clear-cut, so... yeah, I would try it out if you're interested, but at the same time, with the slew of games coming out in the next few months, it might be a little difficult to really sink your teeth into it before you get overwhelmed. Yeah. You did collect the cumulative mission star rewards, right? Well, I definitely should have. Let's see here. Collected all those, all those, all those, all those. Yeah, looks like I have, that's for sure. No problem there. Anyways, as I said, I'm gonna wrap up, guys. Thanks for hanging out, tuning in. Yeah, I don't know when the next stream will be. It may be as early as tomorrow if I turn on Grand Blue and it turns out that we do have Galleon, in which case I'll be doing a roll stream. The VOD will be available if I do that, in that case. Yeah. Anyways, peace out, and see you guys in the next one.